Okay. So, hello, Eric.
Hello, Ingen. How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah,
Uh,
good to see you.
one of the uh best fans in arm wrestling.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
the case, but
Big Grow Goat or Big Goat Grow. How was it?
yeah, Big Grove Goats, you got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So you are one of those guys that started to support long time and till the end this
Yeah,
journey. Yeah, and you are
yeah,
a big John Bursing fan.
yeah, for sure. Definitely a big John fan. Paul Lynn, obviously, I think he's another great guy
Are you a little bit Travis fan as well, or am I mistaken? Like this, is what I remember
for sure. Yeah,
for
I
sure,
like
right? Yeah,
Travis. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably started watching because of, the Pulling John documentary, but it seems like right after that came out,
Hmm.
Game of Arms was pretty big. And so Travis kind of stole the show there. So, I've been a
Hmm.
fan of his for quite a while too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I remember. Yeah. Also, we had some fan podcast as well with you.
Yep, for sure. Yep, going back to I don't even know what pay-per-view event that would have been. You did a deal a little bit different that time around where you let people join with different people that were going to be in the event, and I was lucky enough to get on there when you had John on, me and one other guy.
Mhm. Can you can
Yeah.
you can you tell me about your experience about this hosting and the other things?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So, I mean, my background is I worked for, GoDaddy for about 15 years. And now I work for another website hosting provider. So I've got about 20 years of experience dealing with domain names on a daily basis. So this is the
Mhm.
type of stuff that, I've been dealing with every single day.
Yeah. You. Yeah. Yesterday we had some conversation, and yeah, the third person doesn't want to be mentioned, but we had very useful conversation. And what do you think about this? Do you think that these people made mistake or they are intentionally slandering? Like, what do you think about this?
So I rented the pay-per-view, like I have all of them. I watched the event, and I just happened to be out shopping with my fiance yesterday, and she went into a store, and I happened to log on to YouTube to watch some videos while she was doing some shopping, and I saw the video from Dexter. There's a
Mhm.
rat in the organization, so I watched the video, and, it was something that obviously with my background, I felt had some very inaccurate information. I don't, my take is I don't think that Dexter and everything he said was 100% accurate. I feel like he probably doesn't fully understand exactly how the domain registrations work. Um, and in my opinion, I think it was just kind of perfect timing. The domain expired, the event happened, and it worked for that event. And then what I believe has happened is there was probably a back order, which is something you can place on a domain name.
Mhm.
And what that is if there's a domain that's currently registered that you would like to own, the back order, if the domain expires, is able to swoop in and register that domain name for you. It secures
Mhm.
it. And so, depending on where the domain is registered, there's basically like a 7 to 30 day window after it expires where you can renew it. And then it goes into something called a redemption period where you can still renew it, but they typically charge you an additional fee to renew it.
Mm-hmm.
Every company is a little bit different as far as what the time frame is, but I have
Mm-hmm.
seen firsthand dozens of instances over the years where if there is a
Mm-hmm.
back order in place, you are not given the full 30 days. So I feel like that is most likely what has happened here. Um, I also, looking back through this post that you made, I think there was some inaccurate information where they were seeing some information about Turkey and a Turkish IP address and thinking that,
So you're talking about the information Dexter shared?
sure, yes,
Yeah,
yep,
about Istanbul. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And so when you look at the Whois database, which records a domain's information, there's two things. You could either have private registration or not private registration.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, most people choose to have privacy so that their name, address, phone number is not out there for everybody to be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some historical data. So some of the information that was there was talking about, over 100 different domain changes. And that's talking about from when it was registered 3 years ago until
Yeah.
present day.
Yeah.
And then you would also see there's some information there that shows that it was a Turkish IP address. That's just simply showing when this domain was originally registered, it
Yeah.
was with a company, I believe it's ismtasil.net. I probably am pronouncing that
It's,
incorrectly,
it's
but
in tested. Yeah. It's in tested. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that was
2022. 2022. Yeah. Yes.
yep, and that would have been when you originally registered it, so it had that historical data there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I've also seen to kind of further uh, solidify this with different hosting providers. If you had a website hosted there and the domain is pointed somewhere else, and then you move the domain back there, it will automatically connect back to where it was previously connected. And that kind of answers the question as to why was it showing a previous East versus West event, right? So it's showing East
Yeah,
versus
but
West 9.
that was perfectly showing the right time, like the time that hostinger was the hosting. When the
Correct.
hostinger was hosting, the last time that event, there was that event.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, this is kind of a dirty business. There are people out there, they make a very good living off of watching domain names that have high traffic, that have websites that have, pay-per-views. When you guys were hosting these events, you were obviously getting
Mm-hmm.
large amounts of traffic. There are reports you can run that give you this information. So if I'm a domainer and I want to
Mm-hmm.
buy domains that I can then sell for large amounts of money, I can
Mm-hmm.
run reports to see what domains are coming up for expiration that have
Mm-hmm.
had large amounts of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and obviously those are going to be the ones that I want to get. There's two things that could have happened here. I'm not going to say with 100% certainty one or the other. I looked this gentleman's information up, and it looks like he's a web developer and also does some
Do you
application.
talking about the guy that who purchased the domain?
The current owner,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know if he could have potentially been involved with the development of the app. I hate to say it, but sometimes when people are doing work for you, they see the value and they might have looked the domain name up and seen that it was coming up for expiration and wanted to purchase it just simply to turn around and sell it for money. It could be that, or it could just be that this guy does this for a living and he saw some value in this domain and he was able to swoop in and get it via a back order. And he probably would turn around and try to sell it for a large amount of money. That's typically what we see when this happens, $5,000, $10,000, things like that. So um, I think it was just a domain that expired, unfortunately. And, due to the circumstances, somebody else was able to register it. Um, and who knows what they're planning on doing it. I think
I,
when
I, I, I send you
go
the
ahead.
other domain that he has as well, right?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
same guy also had another domain with different name. I don't know if that name has anything. You said that he has a business, some kind of what kind of business you said he has? Looks like.
Well, yeah, they're domain resellers, and he has a business where he develops websites and applications. So
Mhm.
he's in this world. He probably has a portfolio of domains. You know, he probably does this routinely. It's not something that most people just do as a one-off type situation. Like this is something they do to turn around and make money. So um, I think those are the facts. The hard thing is, due to privacy laws and things like that, it's impossible to say anything for certain. But if you use the different tools that are out there on the internet, this is
Mhm.
certainly what it looks like to me.
Mhm.
I think that's that's exactly what has
Yeah,
happened.
I mean, the thing is that the two things are for sure. One is the guy who bought the domain is from India, and we know who he is, with including the phone numbers and everything.
Yep.
And the second thing is that it has nothing to do with Istanbul except 2 years ago when the domain was registered. Correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yep.
that is so. From here, that is not something that I talk with you, but generally I'm telling people uh, the rats needs to stop, and like the slandering is a bad thing. Can you imagine that? I wake up in the morning and and then they are reaching me out to help them, and then I try to help them. They say that it's too late. It's already somebody about it. And then the next thing I hear that, like while I didn't do anything, I'm not aware of anything. And then they say that, oh, I mean, engin bought the thing, or it has something to do with Istanbul. And a lot of people who have no clue, they just jump into this hate wagon. So that is very ugly. That's very ugly. I'm just suggesting people to do their homework well, and then do this kind of things. I understand that that's an unfortunate, but I have nothing to do. That's and like we had how many? Like we have more than 30 minutes of conversation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry, there is a wedding. Yeah,
Well, can you hear me?
yeah. There is a wedding. Wedding. The cars are going. Yeah, you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. So basically, my friends, like we talked about 30 minutes yesterday, and I think that just um, I will cut this part and edit because you hear the loud like horns, right? Basically, we had three of us have that conversation, and that other friend, he didn't want to be in front of public, but that was very useful. We had about 6 hours conversation with him, and then last 30 minutes, you also join. So what is your summary? What's your conclusion in this subject that people didn't have enough of information about this, and they just blame me. Like, I mean, to be honest, you're just like, do I have anything to do with this subject? You tell me with your all experience and knowledge.
I think that obviously the last 2 months or 6 weeks have been a rocky road
Mm-hmm.
with everything that's gone on. So, in my opinion, I think that it was easy to jump to conclusions, right? The
Mm-hmm.
website goes down the day after an event, and obviously, um, not having a lot of correct information Not knowing how to get that information probably led to a knee-jerk reaction where, you know, they placed blame um, in your direction. I would say, like I told you yesterday, one of the first things I asked you was there any sort of a trademark? In my experience, and you said there is. In my experience, that they could probably submit a trademark to the hosting company and potentially get that domain name back. Um, because that's just the way those things work when they're trademarked. Uh, to transfer a domain, so if you want to move it from company A to company B, that can take anywhere from 5 to 7 business days, and there's a potential for some downtime. So I think what probably happened was Dexter would rather not transfer it away from the previous company because he didn't want to have any downtime, especially with this event coming up. And then the expiration date just simply got overlooked, you know?
But
Uh,
I talked with the responsible person
mhm.
of the website, and he said that like anyone can have access to that information of expiration date. He said
Yeah, the Who
anyone,
is
even
date.
from someone from public can have that like
Yeah.
the date. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that have been used quite a bit is what's called the Who is database. So when you register a domain,
Mm,
even if you choose to have it private, you still can see, and meaning anybody can see, the expiration date, the company it's with. You can also see something called name servers. So you'll be able to see what company it's pointing to
mm,
and who's hosting the website that's on there. So that
mm,
information is always publicly available, and there's no way around that. So
mm.
yes, if you know, if somebody really wanted to check the expiration date, it was available for everybody to see. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
and
everyone.
and yeah, um, yeah. So that's kind of this in a nutshell.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to clear that domain has nothing to do, hosting nothing to do, has nothing to do with the Istanbul, and the person who bought the domain has nothing to do with Istanbul, nothing to do with Turkey. Someone from India, a businessman, he bought the domain, and that's it. You know, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
That's all accurate. That is correct.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so this is what I just wanted to talk with you. Hopefully, someday we again talk about arm wrestling. And then thank you very much, Eric. Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
the knowledge and all the information you shared. And I
Yeah,
appreciate, my friend. I appreciate. Yeah, it is
you're
good to
welcome.
see some honest people around that are standing for the truth. Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take care. Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.